Hello, my name is Dr. David Plerday. I'm a nutrition scientist and exercise scientist, and I'm the founder of the Plerday Institute, a world leader in science-based weight loss. And today I have a special guest with me, the hero of our story, Carolyn Simon. Carolyn, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
So Carolyn, I'd just like to share with our audience a little bit about you. Carolyn did her undergrad in education from the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee, and she's currently completing her master's degree. She's married to Todd Simon, who is a rock star in the mortgage industry, and you guys are a power couple in the Milwaukee area. But you have a story about your weight, and in 2012, you gave birth to your daughter, Etta.
Yep.
And shortly after giving birth to Etta, your highest weight ever, not pregnant, was 237 pounds.
Yes.
Your body fat weight at that time was 122.6 pounds. And your muscles and bones weighed 114 pounds. I know that because we did a science-based weight loss assessment on July 27th of 2021 last year.
Yeah.
I measured you in a device called the BOD pod, which is the standard in science for differentiating fat tissue and lean tissue. And what I learned on July 27th was that your muscles and bones weighed 114 pounds. Your body fat that day was just shy of 78 pounds. So you had lost some weight from the high point when you weighed 237. You'd actually lost about 45 pounds of fat, which is incredible. But you came into the program, you knew someone that had done the program, somebody we both care about and really respect, Chuck Miller, who crushed the program. He's at 10% body fat at the age of 58 years old. He gained 10 pounds of muscle. It's an incredible story. But you came here, and so did your husband Todd, because of Chuck's story. And from there, today I measured you, actually Sophia Plerday, our credentialed exercise physiologist, and my daughter, measured you on the BOD pod, and from the day we met back in July, you've lost 54 pounds of fat. It's mind-boggling. You lost 11 of these since we met. And that just shy of 55 pounds is 69% less fat than when we first met. But even more crazy is that from your highest weight back in 2012, you've lost 99 pounds of body fat.
Crazy.
So if you take that 99 pounds of fat loss and you divide it by what your fat weight was in 2012, which was 123 pounds, you've lost 81% of your body fat. Not only did you do all of that with fat, you gained 5 pounds of muscle since we met. Absolutely breathtaking. I can't imagine how liberating this has been for you.
It's amazing.
I
feel awesome. Yeah.
You look amazing. What an inspiration you are. I'd like to talk about, if you'd be open to it, the pain you felt. I can take that ugly glob of fat off your hands.
11 of those.
So, what was some of the pain you felt when we first met?
Man, it was, every day waking up and thinking like, all right, today's the day I'm gonna work out or I'm gonna eat healthy, and then I'd lay in bed that night and be like, maybe tomorrow. And it went on for now 9 years from when I had our first child. And before that, I've always been a little bit heavier. And just being a mom now, I have 3 daughters at home. So being a role model for them and watching them, as they're putting on weight and growing and changing, and I'm like, I'm being a terrible role model because here I am, sitting down and eating mac and cheese with them and, not watching my weight, not working out. And they don't have a mom who's being the leader. And I ride horses, and there's not a lot of big girls that ride horses. In the sport, being competitive, it was hard. It's being 50 pounds lighter. It's been life-changing for competing. And my horse is thankful. So it's really, the whole thing has been life-changing, but those pains of, every day waking up and looking in the mirror and not being happy, it's difficult to shop for clothes. now I'm excited because swimsuit season's around the corner.
Right.
And I'm excited to buy a suit this year.
I mean, look at your definition. It's incredible. So you were mad at yourself. You kept doing the same stuff over and over again and not really getting any traction with your behavior. Can we talk about some of the things you thought were true?
Yes.
About nutrition, about exercise, and not to get too far into the details because everybody's going to be a little bit different, scientifically speaking, but what were some of the beliefs you held on to that were absolutely shattered by the science of our program?
In general, just like if I eat low calories, I'll lose weight, and that never really happened, you know, or, I'd get to a point and then I would end up plateauing and not lose any more weight. I'd lose 10 pounds and then I'd fall off the way again and I'd gain 20 pounds. My workouts, like I always thought, people say like, you go running and you'll lose weight, or, you get really sweaty, or do all these arm and leg workouts. And that didn't work for me. That wasn't my way to lose weight. So those are struggles that I would hit. Fad diets, I'd hop on, all the different fad diets. And again, I'd, lose 10, then gain 20, and lose 5, and put on 10. And so it's almost detrimental to the goal.
Yeah. So you tried caloric reduction and calorie restriction or portion controlling. You've tried different diet approaches, different book diets.
Yeah.
Things weren't working. It was confusing.
Right.
It was frustrating. A lot of the people that come here say they don't like the way they look in their clothes, they don't like the way they feel about themselves. A lot of times they'll hide in pictures, they'll be the person that takes the picture. They're feeling shame, and I don't want to put any words in your mouth, but can you relate to any of those emotions?
Absolutely. And there's times now where I'll see a picture of myself from back when I just had kids and when I was at my heaviest, and it's crazy because that was me. I never wanted to be in the pictures, or as a mom, you're always taking the pictures anyway. So I just made an effort to be that person that was always taking the pictures and try not to be in them. So, but I do have some pictures from when I was heavier, and I see them now as like the flashbacks on Facebook. And now it's exciting to see that because I look at it and I'm like, woo-wee, look where I was and look where I am now.
The
but
contrast.
Before, when I would see them, I'd be like, ugh, I can't believe I put that on Facebook, or but it was life, and I didn't want to be ashamed anymore. So.
Thank you for being so open about that. That really means a lot. I don't take that lightly. I'd like to talk about some of the learning points. When you came in on July 27th of 2021, we talked about a problem, and the problem was inside of your fat cells. There was a suppression of an enzyme mechanism, and your fat cells were unwilling to degrade or break triglycerides. Your fat cells wouldn't allow the mobilization of fatty acids. And can you have any substantial fat loss while you're in suppression? No, you can't. And so I taught you about chemistry, things you can't smell or taste or detect, and everything you ingested, foods and fluids, but also the pain reliever or the antihistamine, the mouthwash.
Right.
You would go to the store, you'd buy things and think, well, this is at the store, it's not going to hurt me. But in fact, you were stepping into the suppression state in every direction. And I told you we were going to reverse that enzyme suppression. And how long did I tell you it was going to take to do that?
3 days.
3 days. Now, I know that the audience is hearing this, and it may be very hard to get your mind around that, but did it happen exactly the way that I say?
It did, yeah.
We reversed the suppression, and so what that meant, audience, is that the fat cells were then in a continuous state of the breaking, the degradation of the triglyceride, the subsequent mobilization of fatty acids. And of course, when fat cell weight goes down, what happens to body fat weight? Goes down. And it went down at a mathematically linear rate. You've been losing body fat every 4 weeks. We put you back in the bod pod, and you've been losing body fat at a mathematically linear rate. Do you remember what the percentage is?
I think my goal percentage was 14%.
Yeah.
But I know I'm higher than that. Am I 20?
20%.
20%.
It's absolutely incredible. And among women, and I've worked with thousands of women over the last 31 years, your outcome today, 81% body fat loss, is the second best outcome I've seen in 31 years of experience. I gotta say, you crushed it. Great job.
Thank you.
So we controlled your fat cells. We kept you at a caloric neutrality. But we also had some huge learning in the area of exercise science.
Yes.
So on the first day, we placed you in our human performance laboratory, and what we learned was remarkable. All the exercise you'd been doing in your life up to that point was wrong.
Right.
And so I prescribed exercise, and what we had done is we isolated the utilization of fat and sugar in your muscle fibers. And I prescribed exercise so that we controlled the way the muscles were utilizing fuel, isolating your muscles to only use fatty acids. And so we coupled the reversal of suppression in the fat cell with the uptake and the utilization of fat, which was at about 6 times the normal rate. And we spared your muscle glycogen. So my question is, did you have sugar cravings after you started the program?
Nope. And I love sugar.
Right?
That's my thing.
Right, exactly. Have you been hungry?
No.
You're not hungry
Not
on the
hungry.
program?
No.
Amazing. Has this been hard for you? The exercise piece?
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah, it's been easy, right?
It's part of my day, and I love it.
Yeah, it's not hard,
Yeah.
right? It's
No,
not
not
been
hard at all.
burdensome, which I know our audience will really be encouraged by. So exercise science was a huge part of this process. Let's talk about accountability. How has having a doctor in your corner every day
Right.
through daily texting and weekly sessions and monthly reassessments in the lab, how has that accountability process helped you?
That's been big. Just knowing that I have somebody who's, number one, just looking out for me and there to answer questions. So I'm like, hey, is this food okay? Is this on plan? What if I have this? But also someone that's going to be looking over my numbers and checking in on me. Because if I have the temptation to waver off plan, I'm like, well, I got to see Plur Day on Saturday, so I need to really make sure I buckle down and stick with it. It's just a constant goal for me. And I'm really competitive, so I like to be able to meet that goal. And
Right.
I want to impress you and Sophia and, stick with it, and myself. I do it for me, but I also do it because, I'm crushing goals.
Absolutely. Wow, and you certainly have crushed it. So the last thing I'd like to talk about is culinary. So having a chef at Plur Day Institute, how has that helped you with the enjoyment of your food and your lifestyle?
Yeah. So as a mom, I never cooked. I did like one meal a week, maybe that I'd prepare from home, and I'm not gonna lie, it was like mac and cheese or frozen pizza. So the learning how to actually cook piece, that's been huge for me and our family. So we would go out to eat all the time, and which led to the weight gain, obviously, and like all the salt and crappy food that we would order. So learning how to cook was huge. Having an entire library of recipes to go to and to say, here, I have the blue cheese pork is one of our favorites.
Right.
And it's super easy meals. There's nothing complicated about it. Follow the recipe, and it's awesome food. So I do make a lot of food. I have days where I'll just do a bunch of cooking and baking. I eat a lot of cheesecake.
Yes, and can we just mention your husband, Todd?
Yes.
Todd, Mr. Handsome and successful business guy, he's lost over 70 pounds
Yes.
of body fat.
It's
so you've
crazy.
actually done this process together.
We did, and I don't know how people could not do it together, honestly, with the food that you're eating and preparing. It's been great. It's been fun. We're encouraging to each other, every day. I get up first and do my weigh-in, and then I work out, and he gets up. I'm like, what'd you weigh? So it's,
Yeah.
our little
So you guys are
check in with
encouraging
each
each other, and I'll bet this has been a huge blessing for your marriage, right?
It has been. It's
just
been
to
fun,
feel
just
joyful.
And it's just a little thing that, we're so busy and on the go all the time, but it's our one thing that brings us together is, he gets, I make his lunch for him every day and pack him, all his little snacks with love notes.
How nice.
And, so he gets that, little thing. And it's just how one more thing to bond over throughout our day.
How
and
cool.
a little check-in with each other.
I love it.
Yeah.
So let's look at your before and after pictures. So on the left, we see your first day.
Yeah.
Body fat level that day was just under 78 pounds. On the right, you're at 23.8 pounds. So you've lost 54 pounds of fat since we first met, which is over 69% less body fat. What do you see? What do you notice?
Oh man, the just definition and everything. You can see the pain in my eyes before. I mean, I'm not
Yes.
smiling in the picture, but it's just right in the eyes. You can see it. All of the, whatever you want to call it, the shame and the pain of just being heavy. Man, pure joy.
Yeah, on the right, you just see your body, it's very symmetrical.
Yeah.
You see your facial features are very defined, and you've lost fat from every square inch of your body.
Yeah.
And the best part of it is the joy. Yeah, it's electric. Let's take a look at the rear view, total body rear view. What do you notice?
The hips. That's always been my big struggle too. It's like I'd have a smaller waist, but then nothing fits my bottom.
Yeah.
So it's crazy though to see that gone. Like my arms were almost sticking out before.
Yeah.
In that shot, and it's gone.
Yeah, I look at the left and I see the roundedness of your upper body, and as you mentioned, your hips, the circumference of your hips, the definition in the upper back, and the absence of fat on the hips. I mean, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Really, we talked about you not being recognizable.
Right.
And have there been instances where people have walked past you and not recognized you, or just been jaw dropped by?
There has been, and sometimes it's okay. I'll go let that one go. But no, it's been, people are just shocked that where did you go and what have you done? So it's a good feeling. It hasn't been that long, so I just saw you a few months ago. I'm like, I know, I've been working hard. It's great.
It's amazing. Let's look at your face shot, just the contrast of the face. What do you see?
Man, the jaw definition is crazy. It's one of those funny things, like you open your phone and it's accidentally on the camera mode and you see like the double chin look. I don't have that problem anymore.
Right.
So when it does open up on that reverse camera mode, it's fine. But yeah, the jaw, the smile,
Right.
you can see it better.
So I want to talk about a detail we haven't touched on. You're at 16.6% body fat.
Ooh.
And you're the mother of 3.
Yes.
We're not going to mention your age, but you have done something that's amazing. I mean, normal body fat for a 16-year-old female physically mature is 20%. You're just under 17% body fat. Awesome. It's like you're an endurance athlete.
Yes.
And yet you're not exercising hard.
No. We can
Incredible.
Say my age. You can say.
Go ahead, say it.
I'm 38.
38.
And I'm
wow.
proud because I look pretty good right now.
It's breathtaking. Thank you.
Yeah.
You are an inspiration. What a great story. I want us to imagine right now there's a man or woman, they're watching this conversation and they're thinking, oh my God, she's exactly where, she was exactly where I am. And they're thinking about your transformation and they're feeling hopeful.
Right.
What would you say to her or him to encourage them to take the first step and call?
And when my husband and I saw our friend Chuck go through this program, it was just awesome. It was one of those things where he didn't have, to us at the time, he didn't have a ton of weight to lose, and the transformation that he made was like, well, geez, if he can do it. And we had to do it. We were at a point in our lives where it had to happen. So we made the call and we came in for the half-day assessment. I just hope to reach out to anybody who's, felt the similar pain of just the shame or, tomorrow's going to be the day, and it's been 10 years of saying that. Just make the call and come in and meet Dr. Plerde and hear what he has to say, because it's going to change your life. For me, it's only been since August 4th was when we started eating on the diet.
Right.
And from August 4th to, February 5th.
Yeah.
It's just been a crazy transformation. So if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Wow. So let's do the math. August 4th to September, October, November, December, January, February. That's 6 months.
6 months.
In 6 months, you've lost about 70% of your body fat. You're at 16.6% body fat.
Yeah, size 14 to a size 4 in jeans. Like I haven't been 4 in jeans since
I mean, the muscular
middle school.
definition is crazy. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'd like to thank you, our audience, for taking time out of your schedule to watch this interview. I hope you found it to be very encouraging. And I'll conclude our conversation with this. you don't have to struggle anymore. Pick up the phone and call 844-756-8733. We want to get you on the right road to better health, joy, and self-respect. I hope to meet you soon. Thank you so much.